What's up, everyone? It's the Interview Queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
All right, hello, True Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast poor, you're listening to True Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for AEWramble, episode 215, Red Death Rider. Reviewing last night, September 10th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite as only we can. And to do that, I am, of course, joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of 59,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews. You go to him for your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. And you go to him for his amazing Yankee fitteds, the one and only Jimmy Macram. How are you doing, Jimmy?
I'm good. I hope you all are doing well as well.
Look at you, starting off 2 weeks in a row. Quite nice. I'm sure that will continue. We are, of course, thank you for joining us today. We're back at it once again. Appreciate y'all if you're joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the comment section. If you're watching us on demand, keep the conversation going and let us know what you thought about last night's Dynamite there. If you're with us live, join us in the live chat and sound off. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments in the chat as much as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here. You want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel and AEWramble in the best way possible, and make sure your comment is highlighted on screen. You can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. We got Zach Minger in the chat who says National Pizza Day, SP3 and Jimmy. National Pizza Day. Happy National Pizza Day, Jimmy.
Happy National Pizza Day to you too, sir.
Why do you sound so upset for someone who says
Nobody's
that you're
upset.
feeling fine?
Happy National Pizza Day. I hope he's doing well as well.
You sound so annoyed. We got Eric Isaacs in the chat. Thanks for joining us, good sir. He says, what a night. We saw the Timeless Sandwoman. We saw the return of Riho and Emmy, and Dancing Danny joins the Death Riders. Well, the Dancing Danny character, the Dancing Danny character has been stale for 2 years, so it's about damn time. I'm glad for that. And you seem to be the first person who is raving about the return of Riho. I was happy to see her last week, but damn, I did not expect this week. We'll talk about it. We will talk about it for sure. We got I Make Beats who says, what's good, people? Ain't seen SP3 for a good 30 minutes. Let's go. It's actually only been like 15 minutes. It just went off air over on Fightful, Overbooked on In the Weeds. I Make Beats also says, how's it going, Jimmy?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I already can't pretend anymore. I just realized I'm in a bad mood.
Oh, you just realized it? I realized it as soon as you logged on. So
I thought I was just tired. I'm in a bad mood.
He's like, I needed to see y'all comments to realize I'm in a bad mood. We got Chuck Berries who says, what's good, THH fam? I'm not asking why, Danny, why? I'm asking why now, TK, why now? I mean, that shouldn't be the question either. It should just be like, about damn time, and move the hell on.
It's fucking Weekend at Bernie's. You know, they fucking pretend that fucking dead body is still alive for a whole fucking weekend. That's what like people pretending Daniel Garcia is. Like he's an important. This is over. It's been over for a while now. I'm not entirely sure why we're still pretending. This is outrageous.
We got Davion who says, hello, guys. It's been a rough day, but I feel a little bit better now that AEWramble is on. Well, I'm sad to hear that you're not having the best day, but glad we can put a smile on your face, good brother. Have some laughs with us. Yeah. We got Power Driver Finisher who says, eventful show. We got Brandon Brown, who is once again a member of the channel. Thank you so much, Brandon Brown, for your support. Hit the join button, and just for $1 a month, you could become a member of the channel as well. We got your favorite, Frantic World, who says, what's up, SP3, Jimmy, and chat. We also got Power Driver Finisher who says, accept the goddamn turn. There you go. And we got Annika who says, there's no Jericho to tell Danny he couldn't go.
Poor Chris Jericho. I know he's hurting after yesterday's events. Swerve probably too. I wish them all the best in the trying times. You hate to see Nazis go so very young. Goddamn shame. Goddamn shame.
You need a moment? You need a moment?
Yeah, that video is horrifying. I've only seen it 35 times. Jarring. jarring
I
stuff.
haven't seen it once.
I'll sing the link. I got you.
I was gonna say it's because I don't really care, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it for you, so I can add to your total. I can add to your total. I'm here to help. I'm here to help. Did you want to talk about the big return last week for WWE? AJ Lee, we talked about it briefly last week, coming off the heels of Clash in Paris. It was just a rumor when we were doing the show last Thursday, and then the following day, 24 hours later, it became reality. AJ Lee making a return to WWE on SmackDown in a great segment with Becky Lynch and CM Punk. She was involved in another, I thought, even better segment, excellent segment on Monday Night Raw with her return promo, where she talked about mental health and therapy on a WWE show. I was not surprised when I heard that Triple H was not there in attendance. He would see that therapy where he'd be like, "Get that the fuck out this script."
What the shit is this?
But yeah, a great promo by AJ Lee, and then I think Becky Lynch has just been absolutely phenomenal in this whole angle between the Punk promo last week on Raw, her performance on SmackDown, and the way she took that beating from AJ, and then her whole thing on Monday was even better than those two, with her being like, "I'm gonna need therapy after this." And what kind of man hides behind their wife? Oh my God. How is Seth this bad at being a heel, but she's so good?
It's jarring. She's one of the best ever. I'm trying to think. What do I feel about AJ Lee? I echo everything you said about her comeback and her promos and her comeback. The fact that she's here for 3 years, I think I read she signed a contract for. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm still gonna hold off on an opinion as far as that goes. But I am very curious in this feud. I thought it's been very well done, mostly because of Becky and Punk and AJ. So I guess everybody except Seth Rollins, I would suppose. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't really been around.
Yeah. It's almost like Triple H watches True Heel Heat, and he heard all of our complaints. Be like, keep him over here, highlight these three, and he's been doing that. It's been the best thing heading into WrestlePalooza.
How old is she? 38 or something? I think
38 years old.
If there's something left in the tank, she's got it, and I'm here to see her work with this new crop of stars. She was working with complete garbage last time around, and now she's working with one of the greatest female rosters ever. I am thoroughly curious. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, I've been saying it since the return, but like when you really think about it, like AJ Lee's peak, and I think we talked about it a little, like peak versus the longevity thing conversation we had that last week. But I was like, AJ Lee's peak is higher than like some of like the all-time great women's wrestlers in WWE history. I would say like outside of Charlotte and Becky, those are the only two that I could say their peak were as high or higher than AJ Lee. That's how high AJ Lee was in like the early 2010s in WWE. But I forgot like how good she is on the mic. We've been missing her out of the conversation in regards to all-time great women's wrestlers on the mic. I think she's in that conversation, at least top 10.
Yeah, certainly. She'd be behind Becky and Toni Storm, I suppose. Though Tony's gonna make a run at ruining this fucking thing. Becky, Toni, she's right there. I put her third, very frankly. I mean, I like Willow stuff, but she doesn't have a gigantic track record. Who else?
Sherry.
He's kind of rough. Over AJ Lee?
Yeah, I'd take Sherry over AJ Lee. I think AJ Lee's top 5, but I would take Sherry ahead of her. I think her and Trish are on the same level.
I do like a good Trish promo. I like the Stephanie promo, but she suffers from what Triple H suffers from, which is free reign. So do whatever you want.
Mhm.
Which is
Yeah.
not great. You need an editor.
Yeah.
Yeah, top 5, I think is appropriate.
We got here in the chat Power Drive Finisher who says, honestly, not gonna lie, can't knock the AJ Lee return. Just can't sit here and be like, damn, one hell of a promo when I didn't care for it, when it seemed like it was still very corny, in my opinion.
All right, Triple H, take it easy.
Like, yeah, I was like, what was all of this?
You're gonna blow your cover. That is fucking hysterical, corny. Fucking mental health horse shit. I tore my goddamn quad and I finished that goddamn mess. Sorry. All right.
I love how he said can't knock the AJ Lee return and then proceeds to knock it.
He knocked the shit out of that thing.
He knocked the shit out of it. I can't knock it, but I will. But nah, I mean, you're always allowed to have that type of opinion. He says, I thought it was corny.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you're entitled.
Then you get shot.
Also true. Dion saying Alexa Bliss is in that conversation for sure. I think she's top 6, top 7 all time.
I do love Bliss. I mean, as a talker.
I think she has a period though. Like Toni Storm, it would be like 2023 onward is when she really got into her prime on the mic. Becky Lynch, it's post heel turn, quote unquote heel turn. Yes. She got really good on the mic. AJ Lee, it's post heel turn. She got really good on the mic. And I think with Alexa Bliss, it's that period of 2016 to 2018 Bliss. That is when she was on the money as far as on the mic.
Well, it's not over just yet. She might still be good. We'll see.
We just haven't had a great Alexa Bliss promo in 6 years.
She's too busy having fucking matches every fucking week on SmackDown. What a terrible idea that is. No offense.
I mean, they kind of proved like I think they were gonna try to give them more like in-ring segments, but those first 2 that they did were so bad that they were like, you know what, let's not do that. Charlotte and Alexa, they have so much chemistry when they're backstage together, and then they got in the ring and all of it disappeared.
Yeah, I don't be nice. I don't want to start digging on Charlotte, but yes, I would agree with that take.
It was like it all went gone. It was like, what the hell? We got Christopher Kidd who says Jimmy took the unless you get shot comment. LOL.
I'm so happy. I've never been happy. My lifetime. This must be what racist felt like when like Dr. King got shot. It's like, finally, somebody shut that nigger up. I'm like, finally. This motherfucker's been yapping for 10 years. Kill this fucking Nazi. It's taking so goddamn long.
Didn't use the right bullets. Goddamn. But yes, anything else you wanted to bring up from the wrestling world outside of AJ Lee's return?
No. No, not the top of my fucking head. I know lots of LA Knight fans are complaining. He's been laid out 6 weeks in a row at the end of Raw. He's the focal point of the show. Stop being greedy. I was
like, this is going on way longer. I said that's on the Raw review this week. I was like, this going on way longer than I thought he would. Him still being in the main event mix.
I thought for sure we're about to get fucking Knight and Rusev. He fucking put this cocksucker over. Instead, he's in the main event again. 4 segments, man. What do you want? Take what you can get. You're being greedy.
Now, if Triple H thinks that LA Knight is so over as a babyface that he can get Jey Uso to be a heel, then we might have a problem.
I'm calling it right now. Yes, it's over for Jey. It's been over for a while.
You think he's gonna turn him heel? You think he's really gonna turn?
I don't know if he's gonna turn him heel, but if he had to, he would.
Oh yeah, I know he would, but it would be so dumb to do right now.
Nobody's scared. I'm sorry. I know you guys are scared of Jey Uso's motion. Nobody's. We're not scared of Jey Uso over here. Ain't nobody scared of Jey Uso's motion over here. Ain't nobody that fucker. It's not Steve Austin beat it. Okay.
He's as over as Steve Austin. Ed Koskey
Right.
said it.
Right.
Oh man, I was that was the this Monday show was the most I've been interested in Jay all year.
Right?
I was like, remember for the last couple of weeks when you were like, oh, Raw was fine, and I was like, nah, it was bad. It was a bad show. Mainly it's because there's only been one thing that's been interesting on Raw the last like month, and it's been EO and the
LA Knight.
Asuka story. No, it's been EO and Asuka. Oh no, I'm happy for LA Knight. Do I think he's doing anything, as you would say before we went live, inspired? Not really. He's just in the mix with the main event scene. I'm happy for him, but I wouldn't say that's an intriguing or interesting storyline. The Jey Uso stuff that they did and the Jey Uso stuff they've done since that backstage segment with Roman Reigns has been really good. It's been a slow burn. It's progressed every week. It's actually told a story. So then they had two stories that were interesting. Then AJ Lee came back and the whole Becky joining the Vision, and that gave him a third story that's interesting. So now there's three things that's interesting on this show. This week's Raw was the best Raw in months.
Oh, I don't care enough to argue.
Oh, you don't care? You're not seeing Stephanie Vaquer. You should care.
Also, to me, that's terrible booking, but it's been like that the whole year. I thought we were turning things around after Mania. That lasted a few weeks. It's just sad. And nothing can change until they feel it in the pocketbook, as they say, which I'm not entirely sure it's going to happen anytime soon.
I was just saying that on Fightful Overbook. I was like, you got to understand, like WWE, the fans are dictating what WWE is doing with their ticket prices. The fact that they're still fans and they're still selling out joints with overpriced tickets, they have not hit their ceiling yet. So the ticket price is only going to go up.
Thank you. I saw some cocksucker. Who was it? One of the people over there. They were like, TKO has to. Might be one at TKO now that I think about it. Like, we have to keep our prices high until they repay all the debt. And then once that happens, the tickets will come down. Really? It's never happened in the history of the planet, in the history of business. Has companies say, you know what? Now that we've made all this money, it's time to get back to the people. Right. Good Lord. Stop it. Knock it off.
I was like, that ain't happening, bro. Yo, this dude, Mark Shapiro, fucking baby-faced Vince McMahon in 2025. He was like, Vince has been charging. He's been pricing his stuff for families. He's been pricing it down.
That's impressive.
How did he do that? How did he do that? How did he babyface Vincent Kennedy McMahon in 2025? I don't understand. We got For the Love of Wrestling, who says, I don't give a fuck about divas coming back to wrestle. They can do decent promos, but they are scary Sherry. Becky, Alexa, Naomi, Charlotte, Toni, Chris Statlander, or Standler.
Decent promos, and then we were going well for a while there, and then Charlotte and Chris, what are we doing? So what are we doing? What is going on here? Would you stop it? I don't care about divas coming back to wrestle. That's jarring. All right, fair enough.
We got Big Man Does This as Jay turns heel and the Big Rome comes back and humbles him in 1 week. I can see that.
I mean, just his existence kind of puts Jay in his place. It's kind of sad. It's like a mean version of The Rock and Roman. Like all of a sudden, Roman didn't feel like the biggest motherfucker around. The Rock was around. It's just like, you're just the guy. No disrespect.
You're kind of just here. You're kind of just here. No offense.
Poor Jay.
No offense. Barrier Finisher says, I laugh when Jimmy said, you starting to sound like Roman. I'm like, okay, calm down.
Yeah, they do have a habit of doing stuff like that, where it's like, Jesus, really? How? How quickly we've forgotten? Whatever you say.
How quickly we forget.
Starting to sound like Roman. Really?
Big Man Dice says, I quit WWE after Mania and I enjoyed the last Raw. So, there you go.
No, it was good.
It was a good episode. Yeah, I couldn't like that AJ Lee segment was like that, and the Becky and Punk from the week prior is like the best two segments they've had on the show in like months.
Wow. Yeah, I agree with that.
We got Annika says, when in doubt, bring Jimmy out. Because remember, the build to Mania was until Jimmy got his butt whooped by Gunther.
Jimmy is a focal kind of emotional piece to a lot of shit.
To Jay.
Yeah, with Jay in particular. I would bring Gunther back at War Games, by the way. He'd be on Team Anti-Seth. Only because I want to see that dynamic of Gunther having to deal with all these fucking losers.
I'm thinking he comes back and he's going after Cody for the undisputed title.
Oh, Cody, you on SmackDown? I'm not mad at that. That'd be fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Because I don't know if the Drew storyline has a lot of legs. So I don't know how you get to the end of the year unless you're gonna blow your load and do the Randy match before the end of the year.
Blow your load. Sorry. Much like Daniel Garcia. Cody versus Randy has been dead a long time, and I'm not trying to I'm still viewing this thing like, oh shit, one day. No.
It's over.
It's over.
He's like, it's over already, guys.
Sorry.
Big Man Noise says Becky becoming the new top heel on Raw brought me back to weekly TV.
Oh, she's fucking fantastic.
Did you hear the heat that my catchphrase is getting now?
Your catchphrase? What was the catchphrase?
When she brings me up. I'm the greatest of all time. And it's not just me saying it. Other people say it. Sports Illustrated. So I like whenever she starts off, it says I'm the greatest of all time. I'm like, say the line. I'm like all the kids in Bart's class. I'm like, say the line. Say the line. Say the line. This year, I get the royalty check in the mail every time. It's good stuff. We got Dion who says they're going to bring the story full circle to justify Jimmy turning on Jay at SummerSlam 2023. # third inning.
Oh, good Lord. Please don't do this.
They love saying that third inning shit. And yes, Big Man Dogs, he said Booker T blew his load on NXT. Did you hear the Booker T line?
He said neck, people.
Relax. It did not sound like neck. The closed captioning said dick. Not only I'm gonna pop my dick. I'm gonna pop my dick, man.
So Booker T's not that old. Fuck talks like that. Gonna pop my dick. What? What does that even mean? Not busting.
I'm gonna pop my neck, man.
Not busting load. Not fucking busting nut. I'm gonna pop my neck. Pop my dick. Right. So relax.
What does pop my neck mean?
Just like crack your neck. That's right.
No pause. The pause you gave me before you said anything. That was the answer.
I'm gonna pop my dick. Absolutely. What the fuck is this?
Hey, we can only go by the closed captioning, sir. We can only go
right. Absolutely. They never get anything wrong. I was gonna say, what's happening in NXT?
What do you mean?
Why are all these people here?
Oh, they're doing NXT Homecoming next Tuesday from Full Sail. They're going back to Full Sail University.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. I knew something was happening. I just didn't know what. It's NXT. I don't care.
Yeah, they ended it well with Rhea, Stephanie Vicaire, and Tiffany Stratton coming out to face Fatal Influence, even though Fatal Influence is no type of threat to those three women at all. And But I was thoroughly confused on why are we bringing back Tyler Breeze? I like Tyler Breeze, but like these fans don't know who Tyler Breeze is. They reacted to him like he was somebody who jumped out of the crowd that they never seen in their life.
That was kind of rough. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, Tyler Breeze came back, and I was like, "Is he not on the Titans run? Why the fuck is everybody so fucking quiet?" Holy shit!
And it made no sense. It made no sense because the North American champion just lost a non-title match, and the next challenger is not the person who just beat him.
That's fine. Oh, what's her name? Who's the women's champion? What's her name?
The woman, JC Jane.
JC Jane saying fucking that these three were super seniors because they came back after they graduated.
When you were, in fact, the super senior.
Yeah, so I'm like, first of all, that's not what super senior means. Secondly, that would be you. Holy shit.
The lack of self-awareness in whoever wrote that line for her is unimaginable.
Like, what the fuck? Oh well. Still fun.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's talk about last night's AEW Dynamite. What did you think about the crowd from the 2300 arena in Philadelphia last night?
Obnoxious. They jumped the shark this week. I liked them the last couple of weeks. I liked the way they sounded the last couple of weeks, not the way they looked. The building was heinous. But they're chanting bald. They're putting themselves over. I hate these people. I hate them so very much. But it's not just them. It's wrestling fans in general. Just awful. Shut up.
I liked the crowd last night. They were into the action, into a lot of the promos. There was one promo in particular they tried to take away from, but I thought the performers were able to go with the flow and make that a part of the whole story they were trying to tell. So that worked out fine anyway. So I enjoyed it. AEW Dynamite comes on air and we hear the music. What happened?
Performance Center uncles pop me from Big Man Talks. There do be some like grown ass men in that crowd. It's funny.
Yo, there was one dude who was just like vibing to freaking one of the songs and shit. Like I was like, God damn, you into this a little too. Oh, the Mello, when Mello came out, he was like singing every line of Mello's theme song.
Oh my God. Good Lord.
Said it took 3 weeks for them to start acting like the Performance Center uncles. But AEW Dynamite came on the air and we hear the music of Bryan Danielson. It was announced on Saturday that Bryan Danielson would become the newest member of the AEW Dynamite broadcast team. What do you think about Bryan's addition to the announced team permanently now?
First, I'm just putting together that he cut his hair. Did he cut his hair last week?
No, I don't think so.
Holy shit. Finally, he looked good, sir. He looked like a professional. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to forget by the time this match is over, but him and Callis fucking crushed his opening match. They were splendid. I wish that was the crew. They had a very good repartee. Very good, ping pong back and forth between each other. Yes, this is obviously the right call. Shivani's worthless. He can be replaced by a fucking button. And Taz is bad, but he seems to take it a little more seriously than Dragon's here.
He was in the first matchup. He was so good. Like, right? I was like, this might be the best that Taz has sounded. Like, he needed Callis and Bryan, actual two professionals, to be out here to be good.
Decide to do your fucking job. Agreed. This is a win for everybody.
Yeah. This is definitely we're saying it now. That's a good move, but I think like in the next couple of months we're gonna like go back and be like, this might be like the best decision that they've made to AEW Dynamite's presentation.
Yes. This building is the worst.
Davion says Bryan is also great because he can tell the stories in the ring because he's been there and done that. Not only that, he's a part of the creative team. so he knows what stories they're trying to get across in the ring.
How many people on this creative team?
Well, I know that Brian is like his lead advisor, and then there's I think it's Sanjay Dutt, QT Marshall, Will Washington, and RJ City.
Not a terrible amount of people. But
yeah, that's only a third of WWE's creative team.
Still too many.
We kick off the show with AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page, who gets a great response from the Philadelphia crowd for our opening matchup. It's a grudge match against Josh Alexander. God bless you. Callis joined commentary. He was basically glaring at Bryan Danielson with disgust until Bryan looked at him and caught him in the process, which he just looked away like he didn't do anything. We get a slugfest right at the bell between the two men. Page and Alexander fought to the floor, where he hits a springboard clothesline and was caught mid-dive with an Alexander right hand, and then he hits a brainbuster right on the edge of the ring frame. Page dodged a running Alexander crossbody and tried a moonsault off the apron into a tombstone, but Alexander slipped out of it into an ankle lock. We get the two men fighting back inside the ring, but then they fight back to the floor. Page escapes the ankle lock. He clotheslines Alexander into the front row, where Alexander took a really looked like a sick bump onto the concrete. We get a slingshot plancha by Page. Alexander created enough space to recover and drag Page outside, successfully connecting with a back body drop on the apron and a sliding crossbody off the apron to the back of Page. Things return with Alexander mowing down Page with a big boot, as Danielson calls what Fletcher did to Kenny Omega last week disgusting, while Callis says, "Oh, also, it was awesome." Page battled back with a fallaway slam, kip up, and then a Death Valley driver for a near fall. Alexander fought off a dead eye and a buckshot lariat, countering into rolling German suplexes. Alexander hits one in the ring. Then he hits one on the apron. Then he maintains the grip. He brings him to the ramp, but Page is able to flip out of it, landing on his fleet, and then hits this sick-looking exploder into the barricade, where Alexander lands on the back of his neck on the concrete. Both men are able to make it to back before the count of 10. I like the way they did it, too, with Alexander pushing Page out the way so he can get counted out before he went back in. Alexander comes back in. He hits a pop-up Liger bomb for a 2 count. Alexander managed a avalanche rolling fireman's carry for a 2, a Finley roll for a 2 count, and then he sank in an ankle lock. Page just made the ropes, but both went back to the apron, where Alexander wanted the C4 spike, but Page countered into a dead eye right on the apron, which looks sick. We get an Oriara moonsault to the outside by Page. Callis quickly ran distraction on the referee as Archer and Romero. They both failed to intervene on Page's momentum. He gets rid of the both of them. Back body drops Rocky onto Archer on the floor, kicks Alexander in the face, giving him enough space to hit the buckshot lariat, turning Alexander inside out for the 1-2-3. I thought this was a great opener to the show. I thought this was probably slightly better than Alexander's debut matchup in AEW. He gave Page a real big problem. Loved the sick bumps on the apron, which really added to like the hard-hitting physical affair of this matchup. The German suplexes and then Page rebounding out of that. Page with that sick exploder onto the concrete. That was brutal as well. But Page gutting it through, picking up the win in this non-title matchup. Post-match, Page gets on the mic and he says that he didn't spill a gallon of his blood to win the AEW World Championship, just to have someone like MJF change the stipulations to matches. Page didn't give everything he's had to this title to have someone associated with a phallus head like Don Callis get involved. The most important word in AEW is wrestling, as Page is the All Elite Wrestling Men's World Champion. This brings out the TNT champion, Kyle Fletcher. He walks out with Don Callis saying that it was a nice sentiment to have, but it doesn't matter. While Page holds the title, The Don Callis family runs AEW and brings up his challenge on Collision for a match at All Out and says that he still hasn't gotten an answer. Page says that Fletcher is lucky not to have his ass flighted out of here after what he did last week, but he understands it. Fletcher wanted to make a point. Page told Fletcher to get in the ring and face him eye to eye, as Fletcher whispered to Callis that he had this and went to the ring. Page says that he looks at Fletcher and he sees nothing but potential. A guy full of potential. And after hearing the fans basically chanting, "Where's your socks?" at Kyle, he says he has all the potential in the world, but he's also someone who can't put on any damn socks. Page put over Fletcher for being built like a brick shithouse, who has all the tools to be the future, even seeing himself in Fletcher, but he sees himself from 6 years ago. The man who stood across the ring from Chris Jericho in the early days of AEW. Page says that Fletcher isn't ready, though, which Fletcher says that he has heard that his whole life. 26 years old, his prime is when he says it is, and that's right now, as he's ready to be the AEW World Champion. Page says that if Fletcher truly wants it, he'll give him a shot at All Out, but he needs to do it himself to earn it without the Don Callis family.
She's
Fletcher
orange as fuck.
What happened?
She's orange as fuck.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Fletcher said that Page might think that will make a difference, but he doesn't need anyone to beat Page, as he's had his word that it will be one-on-one at All Out. Fletcher won't fail time after time after time like Page did before, winning the AEW Men's World Championship. And he says at All Out, he will make him say his full name. TNT champion and new All Elite Wrestling Men's World Champion, the Protostar, Kyle Fletcher. So it is official. It will be Kyle Fletcher challenging Hangman Adam Page for the AEW World Championship a week from this Saturday. AEW All Out Toronto. Like I said, I thought the opener was great. I thought the post-match was great. I thought this was a great promo exchange between both guys. I thought Hangman, he does very well of being trying to be like the smarter babyface, not being a dumb babyface. He's always trying to goat the heel into doing something that they don't want. He did that with MJF. Of course, they completely erased that the following week. But he did do that with MJF by making him try to use his contract. Here, he basically talked about the insecurities that Kyle Fletcher probably already has, that he's not ready yet, that he's too young, that he's not ready for the limelight of the AEW World Championship, and use that to get Kyle to agree to not have the Don Callis family involved in their matchup at All Out. So I like that. But I thought Kyle Fletcher was the better of the two on the mic here. I thought he showed a lot of composure, a lot of poise, especially considering the crowd, which were being highly annoying. This is one time I will agree with you. They were very annoying with the socks thing during this segment, but I thought both men handled it well. What did you think about Hangman versus Alexander and then the post-match with the promo exchange?
I thought the match was really good. Hangman is fantastic, and Alexander, well, he has the most sauceless fucking Kurt Angle repertoire I have ever fucking seen. Everything he does looks like a shitty version of something Kurt Angle did. From the ankle lock to the German suplexes. I was like, good Lord. It's slow and plotting and uncharismatic, and I hate it. But still, shitty pizza is still pretty good. So the match I enjoyed quite a bit. I thought it was great. The promo exchange is was good on paper, not so great in reality. Hangman just wrestled the match, so he's over here fucking trying to catch his breath and cut a promo. So all things considered, he did a good job. And I'm sorry, steroids don't help your promo skills. I don't care what you all say. Kyle Fletcher, good Lord. And you're not interesting enough to talk this slow. I'm sorry. You're not. Good Lord, you're not. Please speed this shit up. Where's Don Callis? Hand him the microphone, please, and thank you. It was like it was fine, we'll say. Though I do have a complaint. I thought, didn't Kenny Omega get murdered last week?
Yes.
Why is it so civil?
I felt like this was a little too civil. I thought that Hangman should be a little bit angry, but I prefer like the way he went about his promo in like talking down to Fletcher to basically goat him into having the matchup without the Don Callis family, because Jeremy on In the Weeds, he was saying that he should have put over Fletcher more, and he felt like he was burying Fletcher with what he was saying, which I didn't get at all, because I felt like it felt like he was just putting a lot more value into the TNT title than I am or any of us are, because he's like the TNT champion should be ready. I was like, no, he shouldn't. I was like he's the European champion, so no.
I mean, saying somebody's not ready when they're probably not ready can be on the rougher side.
But I think that this was because he's the heel in this situation. It's basically Hangman giving Kyle Fletcher the out for when he loses at All Out.
That's true. That's true. I thought Kenny Omega got murdered last week. Why is it so civil?
Well, you know, him and Kenny, they reconciled, but they ain't the best of friends, to be fair.
Okay.
He did try to.
I'm good. I'm good on that excuse. But when he comes back, I don't want to hear the opposite explanation. Well, there's so much history, of course. No. You told me they're not the best of friends. Good.
He's like, I'll accept that. But you can't go back after that. You can't go back after that. You can't put the genie back in the bottle after that. No. We got IMA Bates who says, I like this segment and / back and forth. We got Big Man Dogs who agrees with you. He says, I wasn't a fan of this promo because it kind of ignores what happened last week. We also got here Big Man Dogs who says AEW will probably either go streaming only or a new network next time then, which probably would have happened either way anyway. Not sure what he's talking about here though. We got I Make Beats who says good old fashioned TV wrestling. We got Davion who says good opening matchup, very hard hitting. We also got here. What?
Cool. Paramount are trying to buy WBD.
Okay. That makes sense. Reading
this. Is it good or bad? It's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an AEW fan, it's bad.
Yeah, that's definitely bad.
TV fan, it's good because WBD's a terribly run organization. Boy, that's not great. That's concerning. How much longer do you have on that deal?
Until 2028.
All right. Holy shit.
Anthony, I don't think he was glazing Kyle. He said, I would not be glazing Kyle and cutting a I see myself in you promo like that if he bitch made Kenny last week. But once again, like I said, Kenny and Hangman aren't the best of friends. They literally feuded over the AEW World Championship. They literally broke up on TV 5 years ago. So I'm not holding that or putting that as like a big nitpick on this segment. My only thing is what would be I do agree with Yao with the fact that he should have showed more anger for what he did to Kenny Omega. And probably, well, he did kind of use that in saying like, oh, you know, what you did last week, it proves that you're not ready. But explain that, because that line by itself doesn't make too much sense. He just destroyed a former AEW world champion. How does that not prove he's ready for the AEW world title? I needed him to explain that line. That would be my one name.
It's outrageous. Fucking outrageous. You just shot my brother. That proves you're not ready. Is that the point? Is that the concern? Gives a fuck.
Big Man does. I'll be honest with you. He says, I don't know. In my head, I thought Hangman and Kenny were cool now. You could be cool now, but it doesn't make you forget that y'all had issues before. To put the curtain back a little bit and make an analogy that Jimmy would understand. Me and Jimmy, we had a group of friends that had a falling out and had a split. And when we tried to become friends again, it just wasn't the same. So that happens. That's life. You can try to be friends again. Y'all can be cool again, but y'all not going to be the same friends y'all were in the past, where y'all would be defending each other if anyone hurt y'all. Nah, just it takes time.
It's beautiful. They turned on me, essentially, because I was a sociopath and don't quite understand how human relationships work. But they got over it. Well, SP3 did.
Because I wasn't the one who was directly who was directly hurt by any of this.
Like, I don't like. Yeah, it's so weird. I'm working on it slowly but surely. I become more human every day. Honestly, I don't understand. I'm just sitting here like I don't understand what all the crying is about. You guys weren't together. I'm so very confused. Anyway.
Bro code, nigga.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Fine.
He's like, fuck, I gotta learn Morse code and shit. We get footage of Collision where Konosuke Takeshita defeated Mark Briscoe thanks to MJF, which leads to this hilarious promo from fucking Max last night, where he cuts a promo after Collision because this maniac showed up on Collision less than 24 hours after he got married. He said his wedding was the day before, and his wife asked, where was he going? It's time for their honeymoon. His wife said, if you leave right now, we're done. MJF started laughing and said, you silly little bitch, that he was married well before he ever met her, as he's married to the game. As he swung the door open, ready to make Mark Briscoe's life a living hell. Whatever stipulation Briscoe chooses for their match at All Out this week on Collision, he says that he will be there. He says he will be there and he will say exactly what he told his wife on their wedding day. I do, by God, I do. We will see MJF this coming Saturday on AEW Collision. We'll hear from him on the mic, but the more important part of all this, the reason why MJF's on Collision is because we will find out what the stipulation is for Mark Briscoe versus MJF at All Out 2025. MJF, man, this schedule he's on for the next couple of weeks is ridiculous. He's filming a movie. He's filming Violent Night 2 in Canada. So he's basically, that's why he wasn't on Dynamite last night, because he's been filming. He's going to take a day off from filming to do Collision on Saturday. Then he goes back to filming until next Friday, when he has to go to Mexico to verse Mystico in a title versus mask match at the 91st anniversary for CMLL. And then has to get on a flight for the next day at All Out in Toronto, where he'll be facing Mark Briscoe in a one-on-one matchup. What did you think about the promo from MJF? What do you think about this crazy schedule he's about to be on? And what do you think the match will be on Collision? What will it be for All Out between MJF and Briscoe?
As far as the last question goes, my guess would be a dog collar match. At least that's my immediate thought.
That needs to be it. Both guys have experience in it, and it would be killer.
Yeah, the Punk match with MJF, the Briscoes, a couple of dog collar matches. They're fantastic. The FTR match, dog collar match.
The final FTR match, the final match of Jay Briscoe's career, basically. Yeah.
So there's that. So that seems obvious to me. As far as the schedule goes, I can't really give you props Been working a half-ass schedule for a while now. Let's get to work. And the promo. We had him at 10, not at 10. It's top 10 all time, and I've been shitting on that top 10 for a while now. This gives me like a this is like my penance. It's like I understand what you were thinking. I understand what you were thinking. You were wrong, but I understand what you were thinking when you did it. And just fucking fantastic. Holy shit, this was so good. Calling your wife a bitch is a hilarious idea. Especially right after you got married. There's something so funny to me.
And it's the way, it's the delivery. It's the delivery where he just turns around and he turns to the camera. He's like, "You silly little bitch." I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo, what the fuck?
You know why it works for me? In my head, it feels like MJF was being nice to her the whole time. And now that he's finally married her, they showed his true colors. You silly little bitch. What?
Like, who the fuck did I marry?
Shitty Tyler Perry movie. I'm awesome. Awesome.
He said, "I'm married to the hate. I'm married to the game." Like, I was like, "Yo, let's go. He's back." It's like Kobe dropping 50 in like 2014, 2015 when he's gotten through all the injuries. Like, he's back. He's back.
That was fucking great. I loved it.
Oh man, yes, that was a great MJF promo. Great promo there. He said, "Big Man Dog says Intel with Flair promo."
His character's fascinating to me. I love him.
He is. I'm liking this whole thing with Mark Briscoe is bringing something different from MJF than the other programs that he's been in. But let's talk about Renee Paquette. Is backstage at catering earlier in the day, and she meets up with the Young Bucks, who says that when they win the $500,000 tag match tonight, they won't be here eating awful food. They'll be back traveling first class and eating caviar, while Nick said he's going to the casino to double it. They tried to sit next to Dark Order, but they were rejected by them. They spotted Brandon Cutler, their former childhood best friend. They tried to be chummy with him, but he says that he's been waiting to say this for a long time. "Shut up, Young Bucks," before storming off. No pop. John Moxley then came in as the extras started scrambling away, and he reminded the Bucks who they are. He says, you guys are still one of the greatest tag teams of all time. And he says that he wants to give them extra incentive for tonight's matchup. So he promised them $250,000 apiece if they win. They would get all the winnings, including the Death Riders winning, if they show up like the old Bucks and pick up the win tonight. It only took, 3, 4, 5 months? How many months have we been doing these money matches? It's been like 5-6 months. It only took 5-6 months, but we finally got a story to go along with it heading into one of the money matches, and that it was going to turn the Young Bucks' fortunes around.
There's that. I thought Mox was really good here. I'm gonna hold you. I buy him as a fucking high school football coach. What is his goal? Was it just to win the match? Like, is that the end of his wants?
No, he's always been very clear about his goals is for everyone around him to step up and be better than what they were before. It's almost like Jon Moxley is the babyface of his own story.
I'll be nice. I like Moxley here, so I'm not gonna shit on him. His ideology is a fucking mess. It's kind of heinous. What the fuck? But listen, hey, the actual talking was good. If you ignore any and all motivations he may have, you can pretend like he hasn't unveiled it yet. He needs Young Bucks for some grand reason down the line. So he needs them to be at their best. We'll say that. As we're 2 or 3 promos in, we've already had to make excuses for 2 of them. One being Hangman fucking Fletcher, and now this one. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it. It's shitty. I'm sorry. I don't understand. First, he wanted to revise AEW in general, as a whole. Now he cares about what the Young Bucks do or don't do. The fuck's he give a fuck outside of winning the fucking match? What does that accomplish? Why don't you care about what the other 5 guys are doing? What are we doing? Why do they follow this bum?
Well, he knows Claudio and Wheeler will do.
No,
their job.
I mean the other bums. The other 5 people they're facing, are they not in AEW?
Yeah, they are in AEW.
Does
They
he not
have
care if
stepped
they're
up.
at their
They're
best or
champions.
not?
They are at their best. They're champions.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Skip. Come on, man.
They are.
It stinks.
They are champions. They are at their best.
I'm not gonna let this revisionist history about the Death Riders go over. I'm not doing it.
I'm not trying to revisionist history about the Death Riders. The beginning of the year, they were not good. Have I thought they've been good since post probably Dynasty? Yes.
Sure. Let's go with that.
TBS champion Mercedes Moné is here to team up with her all-out opponent's trainer, Emi Sakura, as they're going to team up to face Riho and Alex Windsor. This was Riho's first match on Dynamite since March of last year, and Sakura's first Dynamite since October, where she ironically faced Mercedes Moné. Emi planted Riho with a slam early on, but Riho was able to bridge out of it and deliver a drop kick and a tire thin kick before tagging in Alex Windsor. She bailed. Moné came in and delivered a assisted head scissors with Riho, who launched off of Windsor's back with a flying elbow to Moné. Riho back in legally with a half crab on Sakura. But Moné pulled her partner to the floor. Windsor then flew out of the camera shot for a somersault senton onto the heels. During the commercial break, though, Moné and Emi would isolate Riho, who fought free with the head scissors on Moné. Using her speed to avoid a 2-on-1, Riho dove and made the hot tag to Windsor, who ran wild with a misdirect lariat on Moné, who kicked free from the sharpshooter but couldn't avoid a stun gun. With Moné hung up in the ropes, Riho delivered a top rope double foot stomp and then a sliding drop kick for a 2 count. Both were slow to get up as Moné was able to drop Riho and use Sakura Emi for an assisted top rope senton for 2 as Windsor made the save. An awkward looking leg sweep slam by Riho on Emi, but Moné made the save this time. Sakura wanted the Queen's Gambit, but Riho was able to escape. She sank in a half crab while Windsor trapped Moné in a sharpshooter in the ropes. And at the same time, both Mercedes and Emi tap out as Riho would get the official win, tapping out her former trainer, whilst Mercedes has once again tapped out to Windsor's sharpshooter. It's going to be Riho who gets the shot at Mercedes Moné coming up a week from this Saturday at All Out. And yes, Mercedes doesn't do very well in these tag team matches, and it looks like she is trapped in a room somewhere in this picture. This match started off well, started off solid, and then it just got clunky as fuck. And my God, Riho looked rusty. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. This was her first match in well over a year. Ring rust is expected, so I will give her the benefit of the doubt in that regard. But boy, oh boy, am I scared that Mercedes might go back-to-back all-outs with having the worst match on the show. What did you think?
Yeah, this was a mess. And it wasn't a good kind of mess. First of all, Emi Sakura, who I enjoyed for a bit there. It was a time period. How long ago was that? I think she wrestled. Was that Jamie Hayter?
Yeah, Hayter at the beginning of 2023.
Yeah, that's what Hayter was cooking. That was a fucking fantastic match. But outside of that match, I don't think I've liked her in anything ever. She's kind of a waste of time. No, as on-screen talent, we're not talking about whatever she does off the screen, training wrestlers or what have you. Riho looked rough. Hollywood's wife was probably the best part of the match.
I was like, Windsor and Mercedes were the highlight of this match, like by a country mile. Honestly, they should have switched things up. They should have had Riho come back a week early, have the match on last week's show, and then Windsor should have got the match at the pay-per-view. Because that match last week was really damn good. I would love to see that match at All Out, but I don't have as much faith in this Mercedes versus Riho match.
I have no interest in seeing fucking Mercedes and fucking Hollywood again. I'm not interested. Match was good, but enough of the fucking politics. I'm sick. I'm disgusted. This is outrageous. And you can't account. Well, I guess you could account for. Why has Riho been gone? By the way, from wrestling,
she was injured.
All right, you give her a pass. We're being hard on Riho for.
Yeah. What are you talking? I love how you always do this to me. I literally said I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt because she was rusty and she'd been out of the ring for a year. I did say that.
You're all happy fucking Riho last week. She was a bad performance. Like, get this bitch out of here. Let's put it in fucking Alex.
I didn't say that.
Put Alex in there.
I'm a little worried because literally, who's the person that everybody compares Riho to or just draws the automatic comparison to on the AEW roster? It's Hikaru Shida. Hikaru Shida last year had objectively the second worst miss.
Why?
Because they're both Joshi and they're both Japanese. That's why they get compared to one another.
Japanese is fine. Yeah, that's about it. She looks like she could eat Riho. They're kind of the same.
What the
Who do they compare? Who do they compare Ricochet to? Hobbs, right?
No, come on. This is ridiculous.
Huh?
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
That's odd. Okay.
Not that much bigger than Riho. That's ridiculous.
You don't think so?
No.
Riho might be 90 pounds. And Sheeta's 30?
120.
120? 30? That's 25% of her body weight. Hobbs is fucking... What is Ricochet? He's 200?
Probably.
And what's Hobbs?
Hobbs is like 290.
He's not 290. Jesus. Yeah.
He's like 275, 280. He's definitely
big ass. This was the big ass gap. Yeah. It's a lot. Right.
It's almost 100 pounds compared to 30.
First of all, that's not how percentages work. No. Sorry. It's outrageous.
We got a super chat donation here from our good brother, Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will, for the support.
Oh, speak, bitch. Come on now. Oh my gosh, Siobhan. What the hell is wrong with you?
Will says TK said EO versus Stephanie Vicaire. Watch out, LOL.
It was a misstep. Clearly. Hey.
He was like, I thought she was Riho from 2019. I didn't know you could change with age or injury.
Yeah, age and attrition and fucking not moving and fucking not being in this company. What the fuck are we even doing? What the fuck is she getting the title shot anyway?
So, IMAB says Ricochet is 188. Craig Carter II says Hobbs is 270.
So that's what? 80 pounds.
Yeah, 82. Yeah.
Love that. Look at me, huh? Yeah, 80 fucking pounds.
And he's taller. He's taller than Ricochet as well.
But she just taller than you. What the fuck y'all babbling about? All right, I'm being nice.
Renee Paquette is backstage with the GOA and Ricochet and was cut off by Ricochet, who called the Hurt Syndicate cowards, but wanted a gentleman's agreement for tonight. They wanted just one-on-one with Shelton Benjamin and himself. He'll tell the Gates to say backstage. He says at All Out, when their hands are raised in victory, Hurt Syndicate will have no choice but to respect them. And that's not a choice. That's a command. Meanwhile, we would hear from Shelton Benjamin alongside MVP and Bobby Lashley. Benjamin cuts off MVP during the promo and says that if Ricochet keeps GOA in the back, MVP and Lashley will stay backstage as well, and he'll put Ricochet's goofy ass on his back. Any thoughts on these promos?
No, nothing nice at least. Nothing bad. They were just there.
Yeah, nothing much to write home about.
I will say, I am impressed with the urgency they had for Collision once they saw that rating. It got, well, not this past one, but before that, all of a sudden, we're treating like it's Dynamite. Unfortunately, there's nothing they can do about Dynamite. There just isn't. It is what it is. Outside of hiring a new booker, which you can't because the owner doesn't want to fire the owner.
We got Big Man Dogs. He says, confession. I didn't know Ricochet was black for like 5 years. I thought he was Arab or something.
Oh, how much Swerve wants to have Ricochet's complexion. Poor bastard.
Whoa! Why do you always bring Swerve into all of this?
Poor bastard. Don't you feel for him? Don't you feel for him? I feel for him. I'm with you, Swerve. I got you back.
No, you don't. That's a bold-faced lie. Why are you lying to this man?
I am rooting for. Listen, I want people to be their best selves. I want them to be happy in their own skin.
You want people to be happy
in their own skin? Yes.
Nah, that's a lie.
He doesn't.
That's a lie.
It's not. I'm here to help.
That's a lie, dog. That's a lie, dog. Right. That's a lie, dog. That's a lie. That's a lie. I'm gonna let that.
A little more bleach, sir. You'll be all right.
I'm gonna let that slide. That's a lie, but I'm gonna let that slide.
Bleach bath. Good luck, sir.
I'm not gonna say anything. We got a video package by the Bullface Live. We get a by the numbers video package narrated by Renee Paquette, which delivers about the numbers for two of the greatest tag teams of all time, FTR and Christian Cage and Adam Copeland, their success in AEW and in wrestling in general, and how the Canadian boys are heading back home for All Out. As fellow Canadian, Paquette says, may the best team win, but is immediately interrupted by Stokely Hathaway and FTR marching out from the back, saying that package was bullshit and that the greatest tag team in the world is going to win that match at All Out. Every week, Stokely hears the same thing. Shut up, Stokely. You don't get any hoes, Stokely. Despite hearing that, everyone in the 2300 arena looks like extras from Roseanne. So no one is getting any hoes. Dax Harwood said that this could have and should have been a dream match, but says that he's heard enough of the fans wanting to fight, so let's fight. Harwood got in the face of multiple fans, bumping into them as well as trying to get in their faces. They shoved and a cameraman by accident, and he and the assistant holding the camera cord were down. They start beating them up in the process. We get referees and security were out to back off FTR. As Bryan Danielson says, he wasn't sure what any of that was about. And I agree. That was very odd. Very, very odd way to send a message to Cage and Copeland by beating up production workers. Me and Jeremy came up with like 3 different segments that they could have done under the same parameters as last night. Because what we got last night was FTR trying to do a segment to hype up their match at All Out with Cope and Christian without Cope and Christian being in the building. So because you're in ECW arena, I don't know, how about you call an ECW legend who has some history with Cope and Christian where you can badmouth them against them? I don't know. You literally just had him on a couple of months ago. Rhino. You have Rhino come out, and FTR can do the same gimmick they've been doing all these months where they try to interview someone, but then they answer for them. Like, oh, man, don't you think Cope and Christian are one of the greatest tag teams of all time? Of course you did in 2001, but you don't anymore because we're the best now. And then it ends with probably Stokely getting a gore and then Rhino being laid out with the Shatter Machine. They stand up tall. They assaulted one of Edge and Christian's longest friends. They get some heat on themselves. They get heat from the fans like they did in this segment. And it's a much smoother, and it has a point to it, and it doesn't seem as odd as last night. If you don't want to include anyone, just have FTR interrupt the pro. They interrupted the video package. They talked about the video package and then quickly moved on. But the whole point of the video package was to show the numbers and explain why these are two of the greatest tag teams of all time. What FTR should have done is been like, we've made our own video package to make sure you all remember how we want to be remembered. And it's highlights of all their great matches against the Briscoes, against the Young Bucks, against Bullet Club Gold. And then they'd be like, now we're going to show you something that is how Cope and Christian, how will always be remembered themselves. They point to the video wall again, but this time they don't show anything. They actually pull out kazoos and they play kazoos to play them out, basically being like, your whole legacy as a tag team comes down to a fucking toy instrument instead of the legacy that we have left. You're putting them down, you're building up the matchup, and it's a lot more direct way than trying to fight fans in Philadelphia, which is one place you shouldn't be challenging the fans to come across the barricade to fight you. Just seems really dumb. Just seems really dumb. What did you think about the promo segment last night?
It's 2025. Fucking bunch of millennials. Nobody's scared of nobody in Philly. Stop it. This is a mess. I didn't like any of it. No, I'm not asleep. I didn't love the segment. Nor did I like how it was formatted. Because after it was done, we just fucking went to something else, which I thought was a terrible idea. They do that entirely too often. I felt like we were going for like a Dudley Boys vibe, but it just wasn't working.
Timu Dudley Boys.
Yeah, I'm sorry. They did the best what they were given, FTR and Stokely, but there's just not a lot here. I've been fine with just the video package, and we move on with life. I don't need a promo. For what? For what? I don't need anything. Nor do I care to see Rhino. That'd be nice. Walk out here. I was going to say schlup, but I don't want to see Rhino come out here and get beaten up. I'm good. Video package is fine. I thought the video package was really well done.
Yeah.
But that's enough.
They should have just kept to the video package. But if you wanted to use FTR, I was just coming up with different ways that could have been used that was better than this.
The match should be fine.
Yeah, the match is
good.
I think the match, is going to be really good because FTR has been on their game the last couple of months for sure since they turned heel. Dion says it makes them look like jokes when fans were just laughing in their faces. Yeah. AEW and WWE over the last however fucking long have spent entirely too much time that this is all goofy horseshit. Whether it's tagging them laughing on commentary or it's unreal or whatever the fuck. Why am I gonna take this seriously? Nothing's going to happen to me at a fucking wrestling show. It just isn't. Unless it's Rampage's kid. Otherwise, I'll be fine. I will be fine. Unless it's Rampage's kid. Goddamn. We got Power Drive Finisher says, I agree. It didn't hate the segment in total, but it didn't make sense after the video package. Yeah. That's all. There's much better ways to use FTR than what they did. And otherwise, I think that the build has been simple yet very effective for FTR versus CNC so far.
Yeah, this was strangely all over the place.
Then you had Ricochet. He's out to go one-on-one with Shelton Benjamin. Attacking right at the bell, Ricochet sent Benjamin outside with a dropkick and a wild dive before giving a fist bump to Taz in ball solidarity. Quickly back inside with a springboard 450 splash, but Benjamin with a huge kick out at 2, and then he rose to sit up like the Undertaker. Right on cue, he goozled Ricochet and then chucked him to the corner. He hits his running step-up knee, which completely clobbered Ricochet. He starts ragdolling him outside from barricade to apron. Benjamin no-sold a forearm and launched Ricochet with a pump handle drop. Taking too long to follow up, Ricochet hit a baseball slide and a running drop kick off their apron to take control into the commercial break. Back from break, the crowd started chanting, "We bald people! We bald people! We bald people!" As Benjamin caught a springing Ricochet with an overhead belly-to-belly suplex before taking him to Suplex City and obliging the fans who wanted one more. Another step-up knee in the corner led to a float-over snap suplex for 2 by Benjamin. He went to the well one too many times as Ricochet flipped out of a suplex, hits a double stomp as both were up and hit a dueling thrust kick for a double down. Benjamin swung Ricochet's legs through the ropes and delivered a pump kick, but took too long to follow up as Ricochet scaled the ropes and hits a Spanish fly for a 2 count. Ricochet tried to use his golden scissors, but Benjamin put a stop to it. He turned Ricochet inside out with a lariat and then grabbed the scissors. We get ECW chants from the crowd, but then Benjamin snaps the scissors in half. Ricochet, of course, did not follow through on his promise as Bishop Khan showed up, as well as Toa Liona. Toa Liona delivers a headbutt to Benjamin behind the referee's back. Ricochet takes advantage. He rolls up Benjamin with a handful of tights and steals the victory here. Post-match, MVP and Bobby Lashley hit ringside. They start brawling with GOA. Leona and Lashley especially didn't even budge. It was like they were really fighting, and neither one of them wanted to sell for the other. Benjamin caught Ricochet with a thrust kick in the ring, as security had to separate all of them. Ricochet almost looked like he was body surfing on the security guards as he celebrated his victory as they carried him to the back. Now, I know you, of course, more than me, but we have been critical of the Hurt Syndicate, Ricochet, GOA rivalry and it not feeling as important. And nothing last night changed that. But damn, I thought this match was really good. I thought it was a lot better than I expected it to be. I thought these guys worked really well with one another here, and it reminded me of the good the good Shelton Benjamin singles matches we were getting before Bobby showed up. What did you think?
Like the classic he was in. I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
In particular. Yeah, I agree. They have good chemistry together. Shelton is gigantic in this company and in wrestling in general these days. And Ricochet is a great I love the way the match was told. Ricochet looked like he was on another planet early on. Then Shelton's like, that's enough of that. All right. He
said, let me act like the Undertaker and no sell this. That was great. And Ricochet sold the hell out of it.
Yeah.
So, I have a theory. You want to hear it? You want to hear my theory? I said this.
If I said no,
Jeremy.
Would you stop?
Yeah, I'm a friend. I'm a good friend to you.
No.
All right, cool. Suit yourself. we got Big Man Dogs, who says good match. I didn't get the finish. He said good match, but I didn't get the finish. I don't know why they had Shelton throw away the scissors to boos like that, and then it just ends. Either have the goons run in to stop him, or the ref takes it. I didn't mind. Yeah, and I know wrestling fans like violence. I didn't mind him breaking it. I do think that it should have went on like 1 minute longer before the run-in, though. After he breaks it, to make him look strong.
Agreed. What's the theory? Don't leave us hanging.
You said you didn't want
All right, then don't forget it.
No.
Fuck it.
Now, my theory is that everybody, when MJF was kicked out from the Hurt Syndicate, everybody was like, oh, it had to be Bobby Lashley, because you remember the report was there was a member of the Hurt Syndicate not named MVP that didn't want him in the group, and that's why he was taken out of the group. I think it was Shelton Benjamin. I don't think it was Bobby Lashley. Why do I think it was Shelton Benjamin? Shelton Benjamin came into this company. He was being positioned as like a guy and getting a good rub. Then Bobby Lashley came in. Hurt Syndicate was born. He became, objectively, for good reason, the third guy in this three-man group, because Bobby Lashley is the main eventer, the former world champion. MVP is the mouthpiece. He's kind of the face of the group. and Shelton was going to be third, but he was still being pushed very strongly as the third. Then MJF comes in. So then he's automatically dropped out to number 4 in the group. Then he's not wrestling singles matches as much anymore. He's doing mostly the tag team matches. Like, if I'm Shelton Benjamin, if I'm looking good and y'all are pushing me well as the third guy in the group, if you make me the 4th guy in the group and he's not one of the guys that was supposed to originally be in the group, this is kind of like Tony's idea. I can imagine that Shelton was the one who went to Tony and be like, I don't want him in the group. I don't think that's the story that we're trying to tell here. I think it's more likely that Shelton went to Tony and said something than Bobby, because Bobby's position wasn't really changed that much. He was being positioned as the guy who was eventually going to feud with MJF, regardless of what happened to the group. But I think it got speed up because Shelton had the issue with MJF, not Bobby. Just my theory, but I kind of was thinking about that watching this matchup.
Oh, this is like, you mean like real life Shelton went to Tony?
Yeah.
Okay, that took me a while to get there. I was like, who cares? I'm gonna follow up on anyway. What are you babbling about? Oh, real life. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, I can see. Do you do it because Shelton doesn't want it? Who cares? No offense.
No, but I could see Shelton complaining to P and Bobby, and P and Bobby being like, "We back him up."
Solidarity, I appreciate it. It cost you all quite a bit of money, but good on you.
Davion saying that brother Shelton Benjamin is an absolute beast in that ring, and he is 50 years old. This run has reminded a bunch of people how good he is in the ring, because you tend to forget. I think it was really the second WWE run that made people forget. If he doesn't have that second WWE run, you just remember the first WWE run.
When was this?
When he came back in
2017.
He came back in 2017. He's like, I wasn't watching.
Good. Oh yeah, I did love the brawl, I must say. Lashley and whatever the big cocksucker is.
Totally Leona.
Yeah. I can't forget that he's part of the Gates of Agony. That's not gonna happen. But for a minute it did look cool. Oh shit. Yeah. Lashley's met his equal.
Yeah. I just
think equal.
Like,
I don't want to forget poor Wardlow. Poor Wardlow.
Dude,
God
man. Yo,
what?
I was heartbroken reading that. It's like, dude, we have not seen anything like this in wrestling since like Tegan Knox.
He's like, what the fuck is going on? You poor bastard. Listen, might be time to do something else. Sorry. Or be like a fucking a bodyguard forever. Like, and even then, there's a risk of physicality.
But like, damn, man, is this on the level of the like? When was it? Like 2022, 2023, when AEW got hit with the OD injury bug, where everybody was gone. Like, this is up there with that, with Ospreay, Swerve, Jay White, Orange Cassidy, Wardlow, Kenny's taking time off.
Yeah, and this is not the time for that. That rating was heinous looking.
Yeah, it was not good. Not good at all. The first time I said back when you were like saying all the issue with the ratings going down, I was like, it's not an issue until it's below 500. It was below 500. It's an issue.
Yeah, unfortunately, the show is it's competent, and I thought good this week, and a little bit last week too. It's just, I feel like if I miss it, I don't really miss anything. Daniel Garcia turned heel was the big noteworthy event this week. Okay. All right, sure. Whatever you say.
We got a super chat donation from our main man, Kaza. Thank you so much, Kaza. Appreciate
it. SP3? Fuck this nigga.
Says, why are you saying fuck me for?
There's not two of us here?
He's a fan.
And not two of us here?
There are two of us here. He's saying 3 for SP3.
I had to check somebody. I'll keep it to myself.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was talking to my sister. Some nigga walked up and just started talking to her. Like, am I fucking standing here? Oh man, I just figured You know what I'm saying? You don't know who the fuck I am. Why the fuck are you just walking up and talking to her? What are you fucking mind?
Was this in the Bronx? Was this in the Bronx?
Yeah. This is the second time that's happened to me. Not my sister. One time it was with my girl. This fucking reverend came up and started talking to her and fucking hugging her and shit. They tried to shake my hand afterwards. I'm not shaking your fucking hand. You didn't fucking acknowledge my existence. Jimmy, why you been? Nah, fuck that. Creep anyway. Fucking criminal.
Fucking creep. Fucking creep.
Beat it.
We get a Hook vignette. Hook is sitting on a rooftop in New York City, and he says that he's always respected Samoa Joe, and that the Ops always have his back. That's what Joe explained to him last week, and he was hurt by the Ops, who just replaced him before his body was even cold for the Trios title, but now he gets it. When one gets hurt, someone will step up. I grew up as an athlete in sports, so I get it. That said, maybe it's time for Hook to stand on his own. Then again, maybe not.
Beautiful.
I love how forced mysterious they want him to be.
Oh, holy shit. What the fuck was all this? Then again, maybe not. So you wasted our time, essentially. Thank you, Hook. He's on the rooftop. He looks like a douche, too. Good Lord. By the way, he's racially ambiguous. That's the whitest man on the planet. What are we doing? What are we doing? Good Lord. It's over. It's over. We can move on.
Kaza with a good suggestion. He says, add a number to your name, Jimmy, and I'll send that amount next show.
Jimmy 475. I joked, Kaza.
Thank you, Kaza. Appreciate you in the chat, man. Toni Schiavone is backstage with Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis, who put over Fletcher, saying that he respects the decision that Fletcher made of doing this on his own at All Out. He has all the tools necessary to defeat Hangman Adam Page, so he will not argue with him. Fletcher says that he's going to need Callis to trust him. He'll bring the AEW World title back to the family, and Callis says, "Oh, I love it." I just enjoyed their dynamic.
Yeah, this is fine. But this and Hook back to back is wild. You got two things I don't need. Why? Why are these things here? Good Lord. It's too late in the show to be doing bullshit. I'm sorry. What's this? How long are we in the show? Hour and a half? Hour and 20 minutes?
We're in the second hour. We're in the second hour, yeah.
We don't have time to be fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't understand doing the second. There was no point to the second time we saw Fletcher. Like, at least we have a point.
Yeah. It's not like we have time to kill. We're going to run over. We always fucking do. Fuck. Get to it.
What they should have done in this spot is, if you want to do something with the Don Callis family, then do Callis, Takeshita, and Okada to explain what they were going to announce later.
That would have been fun.
That would have been much better. Better use of time than Callis and Fletcher not saying anything. Even though I liked them together, I didn't need this. What I did need, and I didn't know I needed before this show, Timeless Toni Storm versus Skye Blue was next in a Philadelphia street fight. Before Storm's entrance, he came out with weapons, pulled a sign off the wall. She picked up a beer and smashed it against her head because she had been adorned and knighted by the Sandman. She even had a kendo stick that Sandman signed for her, and she was going to use it. Blue rushed the ring with a stick of her own and got in some shots to start, but Storm rolled out and cracked Blue in the ribs with the kendo stick. Storm played the stop sign like she was New Jack strumming a guitar, as Taz says that she's playing all the hits. Blue avoided sweet cheek music and proceeded to staple the ass of Timeless Toni Storm. She then ties her up, puts her into the ring where she ties her up in the ropes. She then proceeds to staple her tits, giving her nipple rings, and then proceeds to staple her crotch, which got huge reactions from this Philadelphia crowd, as Taz is starting to giggle, saying that he has many lines, but he can't say any of them. Danielson was revolted as Storm got the staple gun and got a bit of revenge on Blue and stapled her in the crotch. She then hits her with a hip attack to the floor. Taz yelled to get her a beer as things went to commercial break. Both ladies brawled into the barricade before both crotched one another at the same time on the barricade, only to continue their slugfest. Blue decked Storm with a fan sign that said generational heartthrob Toni Schiavone, but it was actually revealed to be a street sign. Storm battled back and unveiled a giant table filled with mouse traps, and it read, "I smell a rat." Storm offered cheese to all of commentary after taking some nibbles. Danielson says that he's vegan and politely declines. So does Taz, but Excalibur accepts. Storm slowly placed Blue's finger into one of the traps and then tried a slam off the apron, only for Blue to powerbomb her into the mousetrap-filled table that didn't break, which was a great sight as Blue was posing against the apron and Toni Storm just falls right into her lap. "We want cheese" chants are now being said by the crowd as Excalibur perfectly says Blue had wedged a chair in the corner, but his pun went unnoticed. Then we get Storm, who got the chair, hit Blue in the midsection, and then DDT'd her before getting an electric fly swatter and started spanking Blue with it. That was unique. After setting up a trash can, both ladies fought up the ropes, but Blue slid down. She hits Cheeky Nando's and then powerbombed Storm into the trash can for 2. Storm avoided a cold Blue on a chair, brained Blue with the chair, placed a sign she brought into the ring into Blue's face and heat Sweet Cheeks music. She then delivers a Storm Zero onto the steel chair to pick up the victory here. This was an absolute blast. I enjoyed the hell out of this. Skye Blue in these plunder hardcore matches feels like the best Skye Blue, but this was by far her best singles match since she returned, and probably her best singles match ever. I thought that this was really well done. You get post match, you get Julia Hart and Tekla. They hit the ring and attack the AEW Women's World Champion until Chris Statlander hits the ring to try to make the save. The numbers are too much for her as she gets beat down. Then Jamie Hayter comes out. She sprinted out to even the odds as her and Statlander were able to fight off Tekla and Julia Hart until Hart ducked a clothesline and Hayter lariated Statlander out of the ring. Hart planted Hayter with a leg sweep and then fought offside, leaving Tekla alone with Timeless Toni Storm. She hits her with her spear and then did her spider walk over the fallen body of the AEW Women's World Champion as Tekla stands tall ahead of the 4-way where she faces Storm, Hayter, and Statlander at All Out. What did you think about this matchup and the post-match here?
Match was good. I gotta be honest. I was really excited when I heard about a hardcore match with Toni Storm, and then her opponent is Skye Blue. I'm like, all right, well, significantly less excited because who cares? Yeah. I'm trying not to be rude. I've been really hard on Toni Storm recently. I don't want to keep going. Yeah, who cares? That's probably the nicest way. Power Driver finisher nailed it. He was like, great match. Why did it happen? I just started laughing. Yes, that exactly. And then this uninspired 4-way. Like, what are we doing?
Why did it happen? She got jumped by the Triangle of Madness. It's pretty simple. Just rock.
So what?
You asked why she had the match. I explained why.
I don't mean literally. I mean, why are we being put through this at all?
If it's a good match, I don't mind being put through it.
I didn't ask. I'm telling you what I think. I thought you had your opinion and I give mine. I thought that's how it's supposed to work.
I know that's your opinion, but you asked the question and I gave you the answer.
You said you don't mind. I'm asking you, why did it happen?
And I told you why.
What? You said you liked it. I didn't ask you like that.
I told you why. You asked why the match happened. I said Triangle of Madness attacked Toni Storm. That's why it happened.
Oh my god! I feel we're going in fucking circles. Good. I'm having a fucking stroke. Why is Tekla here at all? Why is her existence necessary on my fucking TV?
Because she's a talented performer.
If you say so. Sure.
Who got signed by AEW earlier this summer and has started a group called the Triangle of Madness with Julia Hart and Skye Blue, who attacked Toni Storm. Thus why we had this Philadelphia street fight.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So I'll go on fucking Wikipedia.
No, you don't need Wikipedia. I'm here to answer it for you.
Right.
We get
That
I Make Beats
answer.
who says
Fucking appreciate it.
wild match. Not chat DBT, just a normal person who
This
actually
happened.
watches the
And that
product.
happened. And this happened. And then that happened. Thank you, sir.
You asked
The
why it
sarcasm-
happened.
the sarcasm
you
was
asked
fucking
why it
appreciated.
happened. And I
That's beautiful.
answered your question.
Fucking nonsense. Oh,
Don't ask a question and I won't answer it.
fucking
I
trite
Make
horse
Beats
shit.
says
Next
I
time I'll
Make
bring a
Beats
fucking
says
dictionary
wild
with an
match.
actual answer to my actual fucking question. That's how it'll work.
that was
The
your
spirit
actual
of the spirit
question.
of the fucking question.
You
Instead of the
literally
fucking
said
technicality
I
of the
didn't
fucking
answer your question. Then I repeated
Fucking
the answer to your
beautiful.
question, and now
We'll
you're
just
mad.
do that. We'll do that instead. Fucking brilliance.
You ask a question,
I
you
love the
give
way
the
that works.
answer. He doesn't like the answer.
We'll do that the way
now
that
he's
works.
upset. That makes sense.
Beautiful.
Why
Why we're here? Because her parents fucked and they had a kid. That's what I was asking. Stupid. Jesus fucking Christ.
Why I gotta be stupid for?
Brilliant.
Why I gotta be stupid for? Why are you so upset?
Now, if I said, why are you being stupid for? And I answered, fucking, because your IQ is low, would you go, oh, there's a question you asked? Really? Or would that be a dumb
You don't know.
Would I
my
say you
IQ.
actually fucking asked?
You don't know my IQ, so that's a false equivalency. But nice try.
I love
Dion
that.
says,
Not that your actual IQ is low. You fucking dope. Jesus fucking Christ.
You're
You're
the one
a
that's
fucking
on
child.
me.
Good fucking Lord. Insanity. I'm actually saying he's an idiot. It's a figure of speech. You're not an actual idiot, I don't think.
You said I'm stupid. You call me an
I don't think
idiot.
you're actually
Now I'm
stupid.
acting-
I don't
I'm
think.
acting like a child. What do you want me to say?
Good Lord.
Relax. Calm the
The
fuck down.
fuck?
Why are you so upset?
You don't know
Calm
my
down.
It's like, dude, for
Dion
Twitter
says,
troll.
Is
Good
Toni
Lord.
Storm becoming too comedic of a character? To me, it's like Santino Marella being a main eventer. I don't agree with that, but I understand that probably Jimmy does. So
Fuck it. Go to the next fucking thing. Gives a fuck. Good Lord.
oh my god, this man is so miserable. Power Drive Finisher says, great match. Why did it happen? I already explained that.
Yes.
Annika says, this is why we want a woman's blood and guts, because these women can do it. I mean, I wouldn't mind it. They have to pick a good spot and not just use it to pop a rating, which probably they will. We got here King Potato who says, oh yes, Skye Blue's best match in a while, which is another hardcore-esque match. Does she have any good singles matches that didn't involve weapons? Short answer, no. The best matches with Skye Blue usually involve weapons. Tag team, singles matches, multi-woman matches. Those are kind of the ones that she's good at. King Potato says, I'm supposed to believe Tekla is a viable opponent for Jamie Hayter. Danielson needs to oust Toni from the company. I mean, because Tekla's smaller than Jamie Hayter? Is that why you're saying that? I don't understand. We got Power Driver Finisher who says, still why she except for one like this leading into a four-way matchup. Because we've firmly established that Toni Storm is not scared of fighting anyone, and she's a little bit mentally deranged, which we should have known from the very beginning with this character, but she has more than proven she's ready for a fight. She's fought in multiple women in the past and wouldn't be scared to fight in a Philadelphia street fight. Annika says, you said it best, Jimmy. The Rock is goofy when he doesn't have a program. Toni getting a little bit goofy because she has not a direction right now. We got Chuck Berries, who says, be back and forth between you guys is worth the price of admission. We try our best. We try our best always. I don't get upset because I genuinely do love this guy, but I can tell he does get upset. Big Man Dog says some of these multi-man matches feel like how I book in Wrestling Sim when I don't have any ideas. This did, I mean, I will say I'm looking forward to the matchup because I like the talent involved in this four-way, but it does feel like we've run out of ideas for Toni Storm. It felt like that when they redid the Mina Shirakawa matchup at Double or Nothing, but they still had fresh challengers in Mercedes and Athena after that. But when you run through that, you've already ran through Megan Bayne. It feels like you're running out of options for Timeless Toni Storm, and you're just coming up with this option to extend the title reign a little bit longer. So we need to get to the ending point sooner rather than later. Derek says, my favorite part of the matchup was Toni giving Excalibur a slice of cheese, and giving a slice of cheese and trying to offer Brian and Taz a slice. And then finally, we got Chuck Berries with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. We appreciate the support.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
Chuck Berry says, take it easy, guys, for I am thoroughly entertained. LOL. We're glad. We're always glad to entertain you here. Renee Paquette is backstage with Willow Nightingale, who said after months, she wants to punch Marina Shafir in the face real bad. Harley Cameron came in with a guitar saying that she has a song for Nightingale, singing Statlander is a good person that didn't mean to harm Nightingale or cause disgrace. But if she joins their crew, Cameron will draw a cat on her face. A cat on her face, a cat on her face. The song made Nightingale and Renee both laugh, as Nightingale said that having a cat drawn on her face is appealing, but she's been down this road with Statlander before, and it doesn't end well. And for Cameron, she wants her to be careful because you know who her friends are. Nightingale leaves as Renee and Harley slowly finish the song, with Paquette saying that this was Cameron's best song yet. Harley Cameron with the guitar will always be great, and this was no difference here. It was announced later that we will have another $500,000 5-on-5 collision coming up this Saturday. Timeless Toni Storm on commentary. On the right-hand side, you got Triangle of Madness, Megan Bayne, and Penelope Ford versus Jamie Hayter, Tay J, Chris Statlander, and Harley Cameron. What did you think about the Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron backstage rumble?
Good. Willow's fucking great. Harley Cameron is hilarious. I even enjoyed Renee's little addition there at the end. It's good all around.
Renee knows how to just go with the flow. She works very well with a bunch of people backstage, and Harley is one of them for sure. Then we go to the commentary table. They announced that there will be an AEW Unified Championship tournament leading to a three-way at All Out. It will begin on Collision this Saturday. Kazuchika Okada will defend the AEW Unified Championship against Michael Oku of Rev Pro. We got Kazuchika Okada. He will go one-on-one with Anthony Bowens in a qualifying eliminator matchup. While finally, next Wednesday on Dynamite, we will have the Beast Mortos faces Mascarada Dorada to get the final spot, with the winners of those matches facing off in a three-way for the unified title coming up at All Out. So you got Oku and Okada, Takeshita and Bowens on Saturday. This is probably, and this is saying a lot, the most predictable tournament I've ever seen AEW give us. It's quite obvious who's winning all of these matches. It's not even funny. And I'd much rather have done a segment in the Callis Fletcher spot to set this up than just announcing it the way they did. It made it feel quite unimportant.
It's fucking Dorada versus who?
Dorada versus Mortos.
Why are we not doing Okada and Takeshita?
I think they don't want to do it yet. They want to do it later this year, hopefully. But I did say that before last year's All Out, when they met in a 4-way at last year's All Out. Now they're facing in a 3-way.
I'm not saying anything because I'm going to lose it. This is okay. This is horrible. This is horribly booked horseshit, and I'm tired of being this whole show pretending like it's not. This 4-way nonsense of women, this 3-way match with Dorada or Beast Mortals. What are we doing? Why is this so complicated? And we're gonna hold off on why? Why for what? Slow down for what? And how are we slowing down if they're both gonna be in the fucking match? They're not gonna touch the whole match. First of all, that would be impressive and a waste of my time. So if they do that, I apologize. Good job. You somehow managed to fucking honey dick everybody. Outside, what about the rest of us? What are we doing? I hate this. I hate all of this. I'm tired of pretending like just because motherfuckers get in there and tussle around for 15 minutes that this is good. This booking is disgusting. It's a gross. It's fucking malpractice. If it wasn't for how many people work in this place, 500 between ROH and AEW, I want this place to go out of fucking business.
Thank you so much, Dion, for your super chat donation. Appreciate you, good brother, for the support.
They go on Twitter. I don't see how this is going to work. This is absolutely ridiculous, Sid.
I'm going to be honest. TK spamming these multi-man, all-star, and money matches is lazy. Can you do a battle royal, gauntlet, or ladder match instead? You would just complain about that if he just overused those. I mean, he was overusing the casino gauntlet last year, and we told him to stop that. So now he's just found something else to spam.
Do you think he'd sell it?
No.
What if he gets blackballed from cable TV?
I can see him selling then if he gets blackballed.
Jesus. WWE is in the middle of completing their however many fucking year, decade-long plan to take over the fucking world. And AEW was the last shining ray of light against this fucking autocracy about to take place. And it was headed up by this fucking idiot. Good Lord.
That's probably the worst idea ever. The only option that's probably better, that's probably worse than Billy taking over for Tony would be Dixie Carter.
Where's Vince Russo?
I'm
never bored. At least I'm never bored when I watch Vince Russo stuff. I'm a little confused, disgusted sometimes.
And then it's out of business a year later.
We're in that same pace, except fucking slower. Good Lord. Jarring.
This will still be around in a year.
How low does that have to get? They canceled Rampage, didn't they? Yeah, you can't keep fucking us. That's not how that works. You don't get to keep fucking me over and over again. I already overpaid for this shit. Now you gotta keep fucking me here? Collision, you fucking me until I tell you that you fucking me. Now you can put some extra stars on there. And now Dynamite is nothing you can do about it because all your fucking top guys are hurt. What do you want from me?
Well, let's be fair. We got to see what the rating is. If the rating is still abysmal as last week, then that's sure. But for now, it's a 1 week thing. If it's the same this week, then it's not a 1 week thing. Then it's a problem. But it's 1 week for right now at this moment.
Been heading downhill for 3 years. How low do we have to get before you think it's the bottom? There is no bottom. Apparently,
well, no. Like this one last week was like an all timer. Like this is like the bottom falling out bad, and it's an outlier because everything was down in the ratings. It's just Dynamite was an outlier to that because it was more down than anything else. If it's still down this week, then I agree with you. It is a problem. But as we speak right now, it was 1 week.
When did Mercedes get here?
March of 2024.
Do you remember the conversations we had in March of 2024 when she fucking did nothing for an 800,000 person rating? Look at where we are now. Fuck the rating last week. The week before that, which was bad, just not heinous. This thing is over. You all don't see it.
It's 650 2 weeks ago. Well, you got got AEW World Tag Team Champions Brodito teaming up with AEW Trios Champions, the Ops, to face the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta, teaming up with the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. Speaking of the Young Bucks, their entrance was not of their old music. It was for the old Dynamite music. And their ID pictures are on the big screen. And yes, AEW doxed the Young Bucks, calling them Matthew Ron John Massey and Nicholas Lee Massey. I literally, when I'm watching this entrance, I'm like, there's nowhere else for you to go. They should win this matchup because there's nowhere else. You have doxed them now. There's no other cool, unique way to butcher their entrance other than doxing them. So you've reached the catapult of where this can go. The babyfaces got good reaction from the fans. You get Nick and Bandito starting off the matchup, lightning quick opening sequence. Nick getting 3 quick pin attempts until the Bucks tried to cheat for a pin, but got caught. We get referee Rick Knox kicking their hands free. King tagged in, stacking the Bucks on top of each other and hitting a running senton. Bandito tagged back in and hits the Macarena, but again, King declined, wasting too much time. Nick got his knees up for an assisted Casadora splash. Yuta was tagged in, but so did Joe. Joe, in fact, demolished Yuta to the delight of Danielson on commentary. Loved Danielson during this matchup as well. Shibata tagged in, and he ran right through Yuta himself. Claudio comes in. He starts going at it with Shibata for a bit. Hobbs and Brody King, they come in and send the Young Bucks packing, where King hits a tope suicida onto both Bucks. Castagnoli starts ping-ponging all over the ring until Bandito got an assist from King and hits a massive springboard moonsault onto the pile before quickly delivering a frog splash to Claudio for a near fall. We get Bandito ended up being worked over during the commercial break. He eventually makes a comeback. He hits a huge cutter on one of the Bucks and then gets the hot tag to Hobbs. Running wild, we get splashes and clotheslines on Moxley and Castagnoli. Hobbs lowered his straps, and then Shafir ran distraction with the referee, allowing Yuta to hit Hobbs in the back with a chair, but he didn't budge. Hobbs launched Yuta to the floor and took down Castagnoli as King tagged in, dishing out overhand chops aplenty. The Bucks were squashed with a splash, and Matt took a corner senton for a near fall. King followed up with a huge superplex. Brodito missed with their monkey flip splash, allowing Moxley to fly in with a cutter on Brody. We get the try to get the giant swing on Brody, but Claudio could not get his ass up. The Young Bucks started hitting super kick parties until Bandito ended that with a double Hurricane Rana. He goes for the X-Plex on Nick, but Matt saved his brother from the 21-plex. We get the Young Bucks working against Bandito. Bandito sent Nick to the floor, tried a monkey flip on Matt, but Matt was able to reverse thing. He planted Bandito, gets a jackknife pin with Nick holding his feet on the ropes as the Young Bucks steal the win. And he pinned one half of the AEW World Tag Team Champions. Not only do the Young Bucks win this matchup and get a victory over the champions, but they win the $500,000. The Young Bucks ran and grabbed the cash, which was on the announce table, but they were chased and beaten to the backstage area by the AEW World Tag Team Champions, Brodito. As they're brawling, you get Shibata and Joe. They're brawling with the Death Riders. The Death Riders lay them out, as well as Powerhouse Hobbs. Moxley gets into the ring, only for Darby Allin to sprint out, sending Moxley flying with a shotgun dropkick. Darby trash-talked Moxley until someone in a hoodie showed up and attacked Darby from behind, and it was none other than Daniel Garcia. Garcia was met with "You sold out" chants and loud boos from the 2,300 crowd. Danielson was absolutely baffled by all of this. Marina Shafir brought a chair into the ring. Garcia put Darby into position and hits him with a curb stomp, but he completely misses the steel chair that Marina put there for him. He literally was going to play it off like he hit the chair and did what he needed to until Jon Moxley basically tells him, hit it again. Which he applied, and then finally hits the curb stomp onto the steel chair on the second try, which looked brutal. Garcia then beat the living hell out of Darby to the point that Marina Shafir had to pull him back as he, Moxley, and Shafir left through the crowd with Darby barely moving ahead of All Out when he versus Moxley in a coffin match. Thought the main event was another awesome all-star matchup. They just know how to make those action-packed, full of great stuff. The crowd was into everything here and really enjoyed the action involved and the story they were telling with the Young Bucks trying to recover their fortune. The post-match, I thought was also well done. I thought it was the payoff for all the work they've been doing with Daniel Garcia throughout the Philadelphia residency, finally giving him some type of storyline progression after his Dancing Danny character kind of being stale for the last 2 years. This is the direction that he should have been on. It's a better late than never situation, not really like the perfect timing for all of this, but it needed to be done. Finally is done. Let's see what's next. I'm interested to see how the dynamic of the Death Riders change now that Garcia is part of the group. What did you think about the main event and the post-match with Daniel Garcia joining the Death Riders?
The main event was good. It was chaotic. It was all over the fucking place. But it worked for me. 10 guys at least. Why the Bucks needed a pep talk to cheat to win, I don't know. I figured that's just what they do naturally. So I felt like that, I don't want to say invalidated, but it tarnished the great Moxley pep talk from earlier, which I enjoyed quite a bit. Post-match, a vacuum was fantastic. Does not take place in a vacuum. Garcia, it's over. It's been over for a while now, and we're throwing good money after bad in an attempt to make this worth something. It's not. It's not worth anything. It's over. It's done. You should move on for the sake of your company. I'm sorry. You missed the Garcia boat. Sometimes you miss shit and it just doesn't happen. You just missed it. It happens. It happens. I don't know why you want to try to go back on it. It's over. You had a chance. However many years ago that was. When is Dragon and Jericho?
2022.
Yeah, it's over. You had a chance. You missed out on it. You wasted 3 years, and it's a failure. It's okay. And now he can be next to Wheeler Yuta. I suppose that's something.
Make him a tag team.
Congrats. Yeah.
Next tag team champions.
Tag team of people who should be released. If it's not for fucking
Jesus Christ. How
John
many people
Moxley,
do you want to lose jobs?
Jarring them out. It's better than getting shot in the neck. You just get to lose your job and move on with life. Sorry. You're not up to snuff. What do you want from me? You're not going to go homeless. You'll find work.
Not in this wrestling industry. It's two places to work, really. I disagree with this. King Potato says, yeah, because the last 3 Dynamites barely advance any stories. I disagree with that, but I know you haven't liked Dynamite in a while, King Potato. So I would put like a 1 in front of that 3, because to you would probably feel like the last 13 Dynamite have not advanced any type of stories.
They advanced the Daniel Garcia story, right? Just a bunch of shit that's not any good.
I'm fine if you're not interested in the stories, but don't lie to me and say they barely advance any stories when they have. You just don't like the stories that they have advanced. There's a difference.
No, they haven't advanced any good stories. Who was it?
That's fine.
Power
That's
driver?
fine. But the statement he
No, King
made
Potato.
is actually false.
Yeah, King Potato said good.
Just had good. Yeah. I Make Beat says government names pop me. Derek says Ron John is Matthew's middle name. That was hilarious because that's actually his middle name. We got Louisville who says the Mac stream is Chris and less behind than YouTube TV. I have been watching on Mac since I've been back in the United States.
Been watching since they moved there instead of illegally downloading it. Me and
I was watching on Fight TV when I was in the UK, which doesn't have commercials, which is actually a little bit better than Max. We got so it seems like a couple of people thought that it was Gabe Kidd under the hoodie. I knew it wasn't Gabe Kidd because they did the write-off last week so he can go back to Japan.
I thought it was Solo or Becky or anybody else who wears this fucking black hoodie. Where's the obsession with this horse shit?
They always, it was like, someone said on social media, it was like, I saw someone with a black hoodie jump into the ring. I was like, what Samoan is in AEW now?
It's a tiny white Samoan.
He's
pushed over with a feather.
He's actually Puerto Rican. We got King Potate who says DG completely whiffed the chair spot so bad they had to do it again. LOL. And he wasn't going to do it again. He was going to play it off like he hit the chair or like he wasn't supposed to hit the chair until Moxley whispers to him, do it again.
Yeah, Mox, good job. You're better than that. Ring general. You know the terrible do that shit again.
Dion says Darby definitely not winning. LOL. I think they are. I think he is going to win at All Out.
Why?
Because I want them to move on from Darby and Moxley, and he needs to
You
win.
just watch Garcia just turn heel and curb stop them. We're not moving on.
Well, it's going to be Garcia and Darby after that.
Yeah.
We got Annika says, I'm just glad they didn't do it at All Out. The second one connected. That's for sure. That is for sure. Dion says Daniel Garcia is an upgrade from Wheeler Yuta. You know what's funny though? Like I know the thing that everybody does with the Death Riders is shit on Wheeler Yuta. But you know, I've said this to you before and I'll say it again. I feel like Wheeler Yuta has gained a lot of heat from being in the Death Riders. He always gets the heat, the boos, the chants and stuff like that. Marina Shafir, this is the biggest role that she's ever played in professional wrestling. And I think once he got past the horrible first 5 months of this year, Moxley has been genuinely good to be for the most part since May. Claudio Castagnoli has got nothing out the Death Riders. That is what I was setting up. He literally, I feel like the perception of him as a performer has gone down in the Death Riders, which is the only person really that I can say that about. Like Moxley, I could say that about 4 months ago, but he's balanced things out in the last couple of months to me. What do you think? Do you think that Claudio is probably the worst off after the Death Riders?
Certainly, but like, what would be the best off? He's a good match guy. He's strong, good match guy. And now he's strong, good match goon. So what? So what? I'm sorry. Who cares? Who cares? I know Claudio's another one, except he's on a much grander scale than Daniel Garcia. We missed the boat with him 10 years ago. And we're trying to do it again. It's over. And it's been over for a while. Why do we keep doing this? I don't understand. I'm not nostalgic for these things. I want to see a Claudio match. I'll just turn on an old one. I'm gonna watch him wrestle now for.
You like the Darby match from 2 weeks ago?
It's fucking Darby. Of course it did.
Derek says, oh boy, 3-hour special live event next Wednesday. Can't wait to watch 3 hours straight of wrestling. Yes. Because the Collision is not going to be happening next weekend because of All Out. They're doing a special hour-long pre-show on TNT and Max ahead of All Out. So that's going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, going into All Out that starts at 3 p.m. Eastern. So because they're doing that 1 hour instead of the 2 hours of Collision, the other hour has been added to Dynamite next week. So Dynamite will be from 8 to 11 instead of 8 to 10.
Whatever. I don't understand what's going on in this fucking place. That'll make 5 weeks of good, but worthless wrestling.
I've liked the build to All Out, mainly because I've liked the shows from the 2300 arena. And if they have a good go home show next week, I would say All Out's build was much better than Forbidden Doors build, which I know is not saying much to you, but I think that the go home show objectively ruined the build to Forbidden Door last month. So I think that all they have to do is stick the landing, and this would have been a good build to the show.
There was a cage match, I remember.
At Forbidden Door?
Yeah. Well, was that not that show?
Yeah, that was Forbidden. That was Lights Out Steel Cage.
Yeah, cage match. That's all I remember. I'm sorry. Yeah. That was bad. This is there. It's not bad. It's just there. That counts for something. I don't care how many people tune out. It's there. I'm not. I'm here.
We got Will Chisholm. He says, how dirty Dom jump AEW guys outside Darby and MJF?
Do you remember the Hook and fucking Dirty Dom conversations? Absolutely. I do. I certainly do.
I'm willing to call that an L for me for sure. Because Dirty Dom won that one.
Do we think it's a coincidence all these people look the same?
What?
Body type wise? You think it's a coincidence? Hook, Wheeler, Garcia, Guevara, Perry. You think it's a coincidence they all look similarly built?
You telling me Tony Khan treats these wrestlers like how you think Triple H treats Carmelo Hayes? He sees them and he's like, you're not much bigger than me.
No, but at least Tony Khan tries and fails. Triple H knows
that's true. That's true. Triple H doesn't even try.
This is gonna fail. It's gonna fail.
He's like, hey, I got a big push for you, Mello. How about you go back to NXT?
Yeah, sorry.
Got a big match for you. You know, you're gonna face the same guys that's on SmackDown with you, except in a tag team matchup on NXT.
Hey, Joel.
We got the good brother Joel Pearl in the chat, who says, is Jimmy alleging that these men all have the same father based on their body types? I knew it.
Yes, Taka Michinoku.
Michinoku driver. Come on, let's do it. All right, we made it to the end of this review. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. If you're watching us on demand, comment down below. Let us know what you thought about AEW Dynamite. Did you give the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle? Out of 10, what did you give the show? What was your match of the night? MVP, LVP, and moment of the night? If you're with us in the chat, final call for super chat donations, and we want to hear from you as well. Let us know your match of the night, your moment of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give the show? For me and Jimmy, for the September 10th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite, in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Jimmy, have you wrote down your number?
No, I don't have a pen either.
Uh-oh. Oh, you're gonna have to say it this week. I'm gonna give this show a 7.5 out of 10. I gave 2 weeks ago 8.5 out of 10. Gave last week an 8 out of 10. This is more like a 7.5 out of 10 type of show. There was some parts of this show that I had issues with, or I was just completely confused with, but the wrestling was mostly good to great on this show. I thought there was some strong promo work on this show and some good build to All Out. So not as great as the last 2 weeks, but still solid. 7.5 out of 10. What did you think?
7. A mid-effort. Effort. I mean, effort. I mean, in the royal sense instead of the actual sense. Opening match was really good. Closing match was really good. Toni had a match in there that was interesting at the very least. But I didn't like any of the promos, I don't think. Oh, I said MJF, who I thought was fantastic.
There we go. A couple of people in the chat agree with you there. We got King Potato, who gives it a 6 out of 10. We got Chuck Berries, who gives it an 8 out of 10. Thumbs up.
Jesus.
Big Man Dogs gives it a 7 out of 10. What was your match of the night, Jimmy?
I'm going to go with fucking Hangman and Alexander, even though it was one of 4 matches. I knew the winner too. Still, I thought it was really well done. You know, Alexander has the charisma of fucking flypaper.
I really enjoyed that matchup. Objectively, that was the best in-ring match of the night. But the match I had the most fun is what I'm going to give the match of the night to. Giving it to the Philadelphia Street Fight. Timeless Toni Storm versus Skye Blue. That was the match I had the most fun with. But the show genuinely had pretty much all the matches were good to great on the night. So got to give it credit for that. What was your moment of the night, Jimmy?
Stokely saying we all get no hoes. That's about it. The rest of it can go in the garbage. Sorry.
I'm going to give it to MJF's promo. I'll give it to Max's promo. MVP for the show, Jimmy?
Let's go with MJF. Highlight of the night. The only thing I thought was spectacular.
I'm going to give it to... I'll give it to Hangman for the win in the opener and what I thought was a very good promo on his end. I thought Kyle Fletcher was better on the mic because he had more composure because of all the chants and stuff that could have distracted him. I thought he showed more poise, but Hangman overall had the better performance because of the matchup. So I'll give it to him. LVP for the show.
Tony Khan. Everything that was wrong with the show was his fault. He is letting the world down, and he's allowing the evil empire to win. So I don't see the LVP for the show. He's the LVP for the wrestling world in general. It's going to be like the 4th week under 600,000. Good job, stupid.
I'm going to go LVP for the show. I'm going to go MVP and I'm going to go FTR for that confusing segment.
They didn't book it.
No, but they didn't do exactly good in it either. So
they just slapped the fan. Is that one of these Negroes? So get fucking Dr. Umar upset with me?
Absolutely. But yeah, that's my thoughts on last night's show. That is Jimmy thoughts on last night's show. Appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. If you haven't already, drop the thumbs up on the video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family. And hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. I want to thank you all for joining us today. I want to thank Jimmy, as always, for joining me. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
No, I'm good.
Okay. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. That's the best way to support us when we are not live here. Go over and check out our GOAT match series where we are currently watching the 1989 trilogy between Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Ric Flair right now. And of course, I will be back live on Saturday, 10:05 a.m. Eastern Time, the True Hill Heat flagship podcast. Myself, Miss Chrissy Love, Top Guy JJ, and the True Draw Josh talking about this week in wrestling, including WrestleMania 43 heading to Saudi Arabia. Come join us and let's talk about it. But thank you so much to Jimmy. Thank you to all of you for joining us live today. Hit the thumbs up. Y'all know the deal. But this has been AEWramble episode 215 for the September 10th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite Red Death Rider. We are signing off until next time.